In Austin, I'm Mark Mullins. Governor Greg Abbott is sending a heavier law enforcement presence to Austin for a No Kings anti-Trump administration protest set for Saturday. Governor Abbott directed the Texas Department of Public Safety and the National Guard to deploy state troopers, Texas Rangers, Texas National Guard troops, and more. The governor says law enforcement will arrest anyone committing violence or damaging property. That rally is set for Saturday afternoon outside the state capitol. The Austin Firefighters Association is asking Austin voters to help them add a permanent safety measure to the city's rule book. The union, which represents Austin firefighters, says it wants to put a stop to a planned staffing cut. Here's Jessica Cha.
Back in July, the city wanted to reduce staff on fire trucks like these.
My goal here is to keep every fire station open, staffed with personnel.
From 4 people to 3 to save the city $8 million while it faces a $33 million budget shortfall. But Bob Nix, the Austin Firefighter Association president, says the numbers still don't add up.
3-person staffing on 48 of 50 fire engines. So it's a pretty huge move towards an unsafe action to save, again, what I would call a monicum of money in the budget.
So for your safety, the union says the decision should be left up to the voters.
State law requires us to get 20,000 registered voters in the city of Austin to sign a petition asking for an election to be held.
The Safer Austin petition would add 2 things to the city charter. First, it would require every fire apparatus to be staffed by 4 people at all times, like the 2018 ordinance that passed. Second, it's to prevent the city from shutting down a fire station or a truck unless they show proof of a severe financial crisis.
This plan is proven to save lives, reduce injuries, loss of life, prevents additional property damage.
And it helps AFA union members like Francois feel safer out on calls. He's been a firefighter for 4 years.
It's like taking a leg out of one of the chairs, and having someone sit in that chair and expecting it to still be upright. It might be able to function for a little bit, but eventually it's going to fall.
He says every part of the team plays an essential role. Union leaders say under state rules, crews can't even enter a structure that's on fire with just 3 people.
It's not only dangerous for us, but it's dangerous for anyone who could be inside. It's dangerous for people's property, life safety. We kind of get stuck in a holding pattern.
So for your safety, the Austin Firefighter Association wants you to sign the petition.
The union will need 20,000 signatures from registered Austin voters for the petition to be considered. The city has not commented on the petition. The Austin Police Department is releasing new details and video of the moment an officer shot a suspect in North Austin over the weekend. That shooting happened just after midnight Sunday. Police say an officer witnessed a drive-by shooting at Northgate and Runberg Lane, so he followed the car, but it didn't stop. And when it turned onto another street, the officer stepped out of his car and opened fire.
Stop! Austin police!
Police found that car on another street nearby. A 16-year-old inside had been shot in the neck. APD Chief Lisa Davis says the officer saw an imminent threat before opening fire.
These moments represent some of the most difficult times when it comes to policing, and we all know what we sign up for when we get here. These decisions are guided by their training, their experience, and their duty to protect the public. They take that oath to do that.
That 16-year-old is in the hospital. 3 others, a 23-year-old, a 17-year-old, and a 14-year-old, were arrested. The officer who fired the weapon, Officer James McKinney, is on administrative leave, which is standard protocol after shootings like this. We have new details as police investigate 2 incidents in which officers were seen punching people on 6th Street this past Friday night. Videos that were shared online have gotten a lot of attention. In one of them, you can see one officer repeatedly punching a man in a white shirt who police say hit that officer in the back of the head on 6th Street. That man in the white shirt faces a felony charge for assault on an officer. The second video shows another officer nearby punching someone in an orange shirt in the face. APD has not said what may have provoked that, but a spokesperson has now confirmed to KVUE this is the incident that led to one officer being put on restricted duty. They identified him as Officer Garcia, but have not released his first name, citing department policy. Mayor Kirk Watson has called for termination in this situation. Voters will weigh in on everything from state constitutional amendments to mayoral races to school district propositions. Local election officials are hard at work preparing for Monday. Daniel Perot got a behind-the-scenes look at how Travis County is preparing.
These are all of our ballot marking devices in their cases.
At Travis County Elections headquarters, workers are busy filling these blue boxes with equipment and supplies, preparing them to be sent off to early voting sites.
It is a pretty big undertaking to line up all of this equipment, track it all, follow all the state laws.
Roughly 1,200 workers will be involved in this election to help things run smoothly.
It's what we call the heartbeat of the election.
This is the call center where workers like LaShawn answer voter questions. They're expecting to get around 10,000 this election.
We get a lot of voter calls just checking on their status for registration to make sure that they are eligible to vote.
LaShawn has been working on local elections for nearly 30 years.
This allows me to touch people, impact lives, and make a big difference at the same time.
Down the hall, teams spent the morning running logic and accuracy testing on the electronic poll books. Those are the tablets workers use to check voters in.
All of this today is just intended to give an extra level of confidence and confirmation that our equipment is working appropriately.
Dan Teal is the alternate judge for Central County, tasked along with his Democrat counterpart with overseeing the counting and tabulating process.
The team here does a great job tracking all the votes. Alex and I work very hard to confirm that those numbers are correct.
Throughout the facility, screens show real-time data, allowing workers to see how things are going and address any issues quickly. Elsewhere, workers are processing applications for mail ballots. They've had to work overtime because of a backlog linked to issues with the statewide registration system.
That created some intermittent work stoppages and some duplication of effort.
Election day may be a big day, but in this office, the work is year-round to make sure every eligible voter can cast a ballot and every vote counts.
Daniel Perot with that. Early voting, by the way, starts Monday and runs through October 31st. Applications for mail-in ballots have to be received by next Friday. And those are the headlines in Austin. I'm Mark Mullins.